Welcome to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. We are back to a tutorial again, and these cakes were started from yesterday in our previous tutorial, which you can check online. I have oil on my face, right? Bear with me. Let me okay. Tabitha, good morning. These cakes were from yesterday, where they were lopsided, imperfect, and the goal of the tutorial is to walk you through how to handle the imperfections around baked cakes and how you can get better results from them and decorate with them. So in the previous tutorial, we leveled the cakes down. I showed you the raw process of doing that, and then we filled them and we stacked them. The tutorial is generally for demonstration purposes. Some of them are scrap cakes, but the goal is still to show you what the process really looks like. So we are back today to try and crumb coat these cakes, and then we'll put them to chill, and then we'll see if we can cover it in the same tutorial. The crumb coat, if you don't know what it is a process in cake decorating where a layer of buttercream is applied to a cake. Buttercream or ganache or any medium of frosting is used to cover onto a cake to seal in the crumbs. As you can see, the cake is kind of trimmed slightly. There are crumbs falling everywhere. You want to make sure that these crumbs are kept intact on the cake so that they don't show through onto the final look. And this is going to be a buttercream cake, so it is really imperative you get some great results and a polished look. And one of the ways to guarantee that is to make sure that your cake is duly crumb coated. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm using American buttercream. It is not normally my medium of covering cake, but because it's the demonstration purposes, that is what I am using, because it's left over from previous demonstrations and tasks that I undertook. So if you're new in the chat, hello there. Thank you for stopping by. Tabitha, Dawn, great to have you back. I hope you all are having a good day. Today I feel better energized, hence I'm here early. I am hoping we can get through this, and then maybe, just maybe, not over egging it, but maybe we can do a bake session, or at least we can try and trim or cut into the ham or roast beef cake if you like. So I don't know, but right now let's get through what we are doing. I know Tabitha has just woken up, so there's not much for her to answer to this morning. If I ask her, what's your morning like? Because I imagine it's about, is it what, 3 a.m. Tabitha, is it? Dawn, how are you feeling? Yesterday I was wrapped up in the drama and the minutiae, and I don't think I was able to kind of stop and catch up properly. I did go back to the chat. Tabitha, you were asking me yesterday if I knew the isolation valve was there. I never knew something. I didn't know it mattered. Most of the time, if I have say issues over here, because it's a rented property, there is not much we can do. We can only repair small fixtures and things that do not affect the hardware of the house. But anything that involves like hardware and structure of the building, we have to get the agent involved. So I didn't even know the isolation valve was here. By the way, I posted the picture of the isolation valve. If you check the community post, I literally did it before I started the live, because after the live yesterday, live moved on, but I have posted it, so you can go and see. That is under my sink, so go have a look. And if you know what it is, I think from research it's known as an isolation valve. If I was having a leak in the kitchen or something, you could turn that off to stop the water locally, and that is what I'm told it is. So I don't know what connection, or at least I know it shouldn't have any connection with what the engineer was falsely accusing me of. But I think he was banking on the fact that I wouldn't know. And in the immediate time when he was talking to me about it, I didn't know. But of course, after he left and my spidey senses went up, I thought, let me go and seek a second opinion. So anyway, I think the part of the story I didn't tell you yesterday was that when I called the agent to report it and the man's behavior, the agent didn't seem to care so much. In fact, she just was quiet over the phone. You know, when you're talking to somebody and all their attitude on the phone is like, okay, let's be done with this and move on. And so there was no like engaging response from them. And when I finished talking to them, they were like, you know what? Unfortunately, because I was asking that they send a secondary per engineer out to assess the problem properly, and so that at least we know what is honest. But it just seemed like they just wanted it done, and so they said, oh, because he started the job, he has to finish it. So they had to let the same person back into the house. But all in all, I am just glad that my time in this house is coming to an end soon. So it is neither here nor there. So what we've done is we've kind of covered the entire cake in buttercream. What I'm doing here is just applying some hot water to the scraper so that it will scrape the buttercream. This is a crumb coat. This is not going to be the final coat of the cake, so bear that in mind. This is not how the color here is just not going to be what the cake is going to be like, but we'll see what we will get. I'm just applying the crumb coat heavily because the crumbs on this cake is a lot. So I am just hoping I can get as much coverage on it so it doesn't show through on subsequent coverage. I've always said my challenge with buttercream cakes is that I am slightly heavy-handed. So I prefer ganache because ganache can handle the rough movements, whereas buttercream you have to be very, very careful, cautious. Can you see? Just with one crumb coat, we're looking at a cake that looks nearly polished. We have gone from the cake that was looking lopsided and all. Okay, sometimes as a decorator you need to know when to stop. I'm gonna stop now. Parkat, have I seen Parkat? Where have you been? We haven't seen you here in a long time. Where have you been? Welcome back and happy 2026. Great to see you. Okay, this is covered. Let's put this away. It should go in the big fridge, and I will put it in the big fridge in a minute. I just want to cover this too before we move it. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you can trim a cake. I don't feel like I want to trim this cake, so we are just going to crumb coat it as is, and then we'll see. Okay, let's do this. Parkat, great to see you, darling. Where have you been? We haven't seen you in a while. Anyway, we know what it's like. Sometimes, you know what, life happens. And then you're like, oh. You even sometimes grow out of YouTube when life is lifing. But I hope life's treating you well. That's the most important thing. We want to make sure that you are okay, darling. Good to have you back though. Always a pleasure. If you're just in the chat with us, hello there. Be kind, and I'll ask you a simple favor. My little begging cup is for you to like and share this video if you know somebody who enjoys baking, or even if you enjoy baking yourself. You save the video and then you share it, because that is a form of interaction that tells YouTube that your experience has been positive here, and it will help us grow as well. That's all I ever ask. Right, now let's get that back. I am aiming to get this done, and then I will make time and we can talk, okay? Because yesterday I had a lot to talk about yesterday, wasn't I? That's what I was like. Oh God. Okay. Yep. This crumb coat is sort of done, but it's kind of left the cake feeling this way. So I am going to fill the top. There is 40 of you. Those of you who are out for your lunch breaks in the UK. If you're not in the UK, that is fine. You're not on a lunch break. But if you're in the UK and you're in the chat, you're probably on a lunch break and you're catching up with us. So let us know if you're on your lunch break and you're nosing around, which has brought you here. And if you're not, tell us where you were joining us from. It would be lovely to know so that we can acknowledge you, friends. Okay? And for those of you who love cake, okay, let's go. Okay, let's try and get rid of this. Okay, yep, we got it. I don't want to do any more. Just leave it to set. Oh, this suddenly it doesn't look like the cake we were looking at and thinking, oh, that is a mess. It doesn't look a mess anymore. What do you think? First of all, whilst we're at it, this is a 6-inch cake that will serve maybe 10 to 12. How much will you? Anyway, let's get it decorated and we'll see how much you would want to pay for a cake like this. But maybe start thinking about it. Right. Okay. We have gotten all of this away. Now, we're going to put this and our friend here in the fridge, and then we'll bring another one. I have a third one, so let's go put it away and I'll be back shortly. There you go. Right. Okay. Let me get some hot water. boil that, and I'm just going to trim the top here. Okay, there you go. We are still crumb coating. This is not the full covering for the cake yet. You know what? As much as I keep saying that I don't like buttercream cakes, the flow of buttercream is with the ease, because ganache is firm, it has tension to it. But if you get your buttercream consistency, the flow of it makes it easy for covering. So I don't know if I'm not going to swap from ganache to buttercream anytime soon, for sure, for stability reasons, because for good reason I prefer ganache, which is more stable. Right, so there is 85 of us in the chat. Whoa, where have we all come from? Do you fancy telling us where you are joining us from? Because we would like to know where all of you have come from. But then again, look, there's 85 of us, and yet there is only 6 likes that I can see. Are you hate watching me? Like, are you an enemy who is just like sitting in the corner, like just waiting for something to happen? Like, who are you? I'm just asking. If you're just in the chat, do us a favor, like the video, let us know where you're joining us from. If you're meeting me for 85, I don't believe, oh, we've jumped to 92. Wow. Right. 92. Where have you all come from? Like, tell us where you're joining us from. If it's the first time you're seeing me on your screen, I'm Gladys. I love cake. Me and my cohorts over there, we love cake, okay? Your dawns, your lollipops, your tapetas. We love cake. So we decided to make, to show up on the internet and bug you with cake, okay? So today, we are making these scrub cakes into something amazing. Actually, we are going to be decorating these as Valentine themed cakes. That's the thing. Valentine is coming, isn't it? What are we doing for Valentine, people? I think I have gotten it, but again, I have ended up with the sort of dome, like a cylinder that goes from bottom and shrinks all the way up. So I'm trying to level it out. There you go. And then you want to make sure Okay, that's it. I said that's it, but then again, look. Okay. Right. I've got the round nature I want correct. So when we come back for the secondary covering, we can fill the bottom up. I don't want to ruin it at this point. So we've got it. This is a crumb coat. There we are. So let's wipe our table. Okay, and then this goes in the fridge. Let me just go put it in the fridge so that it chills set. We'll come wipe the worktop, catch up a little bit, and then come back, trim it, and see if we can do the rest of the covering. Okay. Okay, let's wipe the worktop. One of the ways you can be assured of great results is to make sure that your worktop reflects your state of mind. If your worktop is messy, cake is a messy job, okay? Sometimes it can be messy. But if you make an effort to keep your environment clean and tidy as you work, that might just help guarantee some great result, because it means that your state of mind is also clean. Okay, now I know I did ask for you to tell us where you're joining us from. Are there a few of you in there who have told us where you're joining us? Let's see, what have I missed? Okay, Parker was saying something in the chat. Okay, all right. Sometimes I just feel like I want to be a part of the chat, but the chat also moves on because you guys are friends. So it's okay. I'm not missing out. As long as you do not feel ignored, that's most important to me. So I did go back to our chat yesterday about our little gossip corner, chatting about Vicky B and Uncle Dave. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Vicky B and Uncle Dave, like Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, in the drama that has since engulfed them since Dear Son came out and shouted about his experience. And I had a lot to say. Auntie had a lot to say about these rich people shouting about their problems to us, the great and washed. But I will make clear now, if you don't know, if you don't want to catch up what I said, I had lots to say. Well, go catch up on the video from yesterday. It's all the way up. We were making cakes, but there was time to kind of chat and catch up with you a little bit, right? So go catch up on that. I had a lot to say. But what I want to make clear is that whatever I had to say, I wasn't trying to negate the boys' experience, okay? Because you can only know what you know. And the lack of real adversity in rich people's life exposes them to the inconveniences which they believe is traumatic. I mean, if your mom and dad are that bad, book a therapist. You can afford it. Book a good therapist to unpack it with and go on about your life, okay? Stop telling us, because we people out here, everyone is going to work. People have real problems. Like, when we say real problems, that doesn't negate their problem. But my thing is the lack of real adversity. If you went and asked, what is his name again? The man who wrote, the man who survived the gas chamber and wrote a whole, Victor, is it Victor Franklin or somebody? He wrote a book about his experience, and you know, the lesson is that in the midst of adversity, the human spirit can triumph. Okay? That's a man who saw above the odds of life, and he still went on about his life and succeeded. And that's because after going through what he went through, he knows the difference between real troubles and this here, right? So all I'm saying is that these rich people, they better learn to know that we, the great and washed, what they are feeding us is salacious, it's fun, it's gossip. Look, I'm talking to you about it because it's his life, it's his problems. But I would rather put my energy into fighting the politicians who are causing a great divide between us and call for real change. What's my business with this nonsense? But the truth is, the nonsense is a distraction from our own lives. Like, our lives is hard. Like, when you think you can't pay your bills and life is lifing, you just want some sort of distraction from these rich people. And they're serving it hot on a platter, which is great, okay? But rich people better know that we do not care about their problems. We are not going to be campaigning over the Vicky B and Uncle Dave. We are not. Like, you will not see me in the streets because they're a child. I mean, I can't even afford her clothing, okay? And apparently he is such a public bicycle. Like, you better leave the man alone, okay? Just leave him alone, because he is out for the taking by the public, not the great and washed public. We're talking the women in his circle. He is picking and choosing, allegedly. Okay. He ain't gonna choose me. I ain't hating on the man either. I am not hating. So first of all, I can't have the man. I can't afford her clothes. Their lifestyle is so out of reach. What's my business going to the streets to campaign for Brooklyn, shouting about his... I don't care, okay? They should know enough to know that the moment your parents start acting wild, or the institution over here starts acting, just book yourself a good therapist, like a good one. Because when you're rich, but then again, I've just made my own argument, because it takes wisdom, okay? It takes wisdom to know when to do the right thing and how to do it. It takes wisdom. It takes wisdom to recognize that fighting in the marketplace about your family problems is just going to expose you to more trauma if you are not built for that, okay? The attention and the divisiveness, like, this is not going to gain you the universal sympathy that he probably wants. Will it give him some sort of validation and social currency? Yes, of course. The validation of people who want to hate on his parents, okay? The result of tainting his parents' like branded image. If that's the intention, I don't know what the intention of this young man is shouting about his, I don't know, and I don't care. What I'm saying is, whatever, if I make suggestion about all his ideas and intention, if it is validation he wants from us, yes, people are going to identify with him, because people have gone through similar problems with their parents. They find their parents are controlling, and in 2026, where no contact is a thing, okay? Those people never been born Ghanaian. Like your mama that you went no contact with, if she's a Ghanaian, she's so toxic, she'll show up at your wedding and raise a ruckus. Like, there is no contact. I'm joking, by the way. So my point is, if it's social validation he wants, yeah, people are projecting and connecting with him, but what will that do for him? I don't know. If it is trying to expose his parents for the fake people that he claims they are managing a facade, well, he's punctured through that facade. But after that, then what? That's not going to make the parents poor. That's not going to make them any less. They run in circles that is so powerful. This thing will solve itself. If it is validation he wants from us, it's not going to be universal validation. Some of us don't care. Some of us are indifferent. And some people just thank God it's you and your money and your problem. So the truth is, whatever his intention is it the right thing to do? I don't know. It takes wisdom for a person to realize that you know what? Let me not go shout at the marketplace. Let me take my quiet self, book a therapist, go do what I need to do and zip it and keep it moving. Because what do they say? The best way to show the enemy that you've got it together is just succeed. Succeed at whatever you want to do. And if his form of success is just building a quiet life without the branding and all that thing, do it, sir. Go and win. Right? But the problem is that where do you gain wisdom from? Wisdom doesn't come from trees. Wisdom comes from the experience of living. Okay? When you've lost a child and yet you're worried about bill payment, there's a form of wisdom that comes from recognizing what real problems and adversity looks like. It makes you more empathetic. You are able to kind of put your problems on the side and consider a bigger worldview, okay? Wisdom from if your parents haven't always had fixers to fix your problems for you, if they haven't had PR people to paint you in a glowy light, and yet you have had to go out and graft. There's an experience from grafting in these streets. You know, even the social connections we make, having to trade with people, compromise your ego to build a relationship that you care about. It's all in the spirit of experiencing life and living it. But if your parents have got money and every problem is money, and every problem, like you fall out with your friend, they send a cease and desist, okay? And if you wonder who I'm talking about Vicky B. Vicky B and Uncle Dave. These are the Beckhams, by the way, right? So if you have always, like, you fall out, because sometimes, like, if my son went to the playground, okay, and he fell out with his best mate over there, and say for good reason, like, kids kind of like fall out with each other, I'll march him back. Go and make it right. If it's your problem, go and fix it, right? But when you're running in super, like we're talking mega rich people circles, and suddenly there is a fallout, and your parents don't have the state of mind to kind of make you go fix it, but then they dish out a cease and desist to warn that friend. Don't say anything about it. In fact, don't ever let us hear that you fought with our son. How is the child going to ever learn real problems? Somehow they develop the complex that the world revolves around them. And suddenly a small argument at a wedding becomes a big problem. Like, my mother didn't make my wife a wedding dress. Like, you have money more than most of us and our generation could ever think about. Go buy the darn thing and go on. But suddenly it's like, oh, my mom fell out. And meanwhile, we hear you have a, like, boy, go away. That's all. Body piercings, welcome to the stream. Great to have you back. Happy New Year. How are you? Look, we have 3 cakes, okay? If you're just wondering what we're doing, we have... You don't really check out... Parker, your life is better without it. Unfortunately, this nonsense landed on my lap. And I was just thinking about it in real time. That's all. But it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, we have to get on with our lives. So... it's okay. It's okay. The cakes are still in the refrigerator. So we'll go and check on... Let me just wash my hands. We'll go and check on those cakes in a bit and then bring them back, trim the tops. I think I misjudged what I was supposed to be doing because I don't have enough buttercream to cover it all together today. But we'll probably be back tomorrow to do all of that. In the meantime, like I said, we are going to be decorating them as Valentine themed cakes. It's 21st. Are we about 3 weeks away from Valentine? Am I correct? About 3 weeks away? What are we doing for Valentine, people? What are we doing for Valentine? Let's put that here. Let me go. Omi said, I kind of believe the son, since he had been rumored to be, hair stealing the first dance, which is rare, but rich people. Omi, you know what? The truth is, I do believe the boy. There is not a part of me that kind of feels like he is lying. If you don't know what we're talking about the Beckhams. I asked, we'll talk about the beefcake in a minute. I think I have the details here for you. I don't believe the boy is telling lies. I think sometimes people are so quick to not exercise critical thinking, because people are like, people pulled up like a Vogue article he did as part of his wedding to discredit him. I'm like, people, you're missing the point. For somebody this rich, it's unlikely he was only ever going to have one wedding dress. And it is also unlikely, it is also possible, like 2 things, 3 things can all be true. And if we are kind of taking this apart, like I'm just making us think about this instead of actually just taking a side. The truth is, these super rich people don't always have one wedding dress. Whatever the issue is, it could have been the case that, if it was the case that we had confirmation that Victoria was going to design all the wedding dresses and she pulled out, that would have been different. But in this case, it appears as though she was designing some parts of the wedding dress, at least one of them, okay, which may, by assumption, have been the main one. And there will be other wedding dresses from other designers, aka Valentino. So the people who pulled the Vogue article are trying to say, well, you said your mom pulls out of making the wedding dress, leaving you just short of time to seek another wedding dress. And people are pulling the Vogue article to say, well, you said this, but meanwhile, your Vogue says that, your Vogue article, which is a whole spread you did about your wedding, states that you've been in consultation with Valentino for up to about a year. And for me, the suggestion is very simple. It's possible that Valentino may have had to sort out some dresses in collaboration with the Victoria type of wedding dress. So was he going to have Valentino? Yes. Was he going to have Victoria Beckham designs? Yes. The difference is that it seemed like Victoria's dress was the main one and she pulled out. But even so, if she pulled out and you have that kind of money, you can then enlist any kind of designer on short notice to create you a wedding dress. So it appears to me that the problem here wasn't the material aspect of mom not making the dress. It was the emotional disappointment of expecting your mom to be a part of your wedding in a specific way, and that fell through. That's all. So the argument here could be made, is he that hurt about his mom pulling out? For sure, he must be. But is it enough for you to come and call out your mom in the public arena? I'll let you judge. Now let's go and get the cake. Here's the first one, the first of the 3 that we put in the there you go. Now, the hot water in the cup is always a good thing. Why do I do that? Because you want to warm your knife when you want to trim your cake, right? So we're just going to trim the top. Other people will just draw the buttercream in using a scraper. I find the trimming much easier and more convenient for me, I feel like. If you'd seen how these cakes started and what they are now, you'll see that sometimes it just takes a little bit of intention. Okay, and then okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. Now let's get our scraper back. You want to make sure that your scraper is also very warm. Right, there you go. At a 45-degree angle, you just let it slide. You take a bit off at a time. So you take a little bit off. If you've been here, you will know how I feel about buttercream. I have said buttercream cakes. But yeah, ooh, that seems very polished. We are not done yet. We've gone from the crazy looking cake to what seemingly appears to be a nicely polished cake. I'm excited about this. Let's go. Let's fill in the gaps. Okay. Now. Right, Lady Lately is in the chat. Let's see. Right, okay. Ooh, we are getting there. Now I think I just want to rid of the line here. And that's it. And then this will be done. But the rest we will have to come back and cover. Lady Lately says, I think he was wrong for talking about his parents. Why would he? In this case, sometimes it's like, but you know what? I am Ghanaian. So there's a cultural context to that. I am Ghanaian. So there is a cultural context where the society that I come from, parents are, I know we are supposed to respect our elders and revere them, but when you're Ghanaian, I wouldn't say African because we're not all the same people. But there's a cultural context where your parents are held in such high regard, and the society, actually, where I come from, the community of, say, a Ghanaian community, almost imposes on you forcefully to uphold your parents in such regard that it's a good thing, the intention and value is good, but not done right, it perpetuates abuse and enables toxic parenting habits. So it's an important conversation to have that parents are not perfect people. But like I said, it goes back to what I was saying. It takes wisdom and experience to know that your parents are not perfect. And sometimes they are doing what they know. Because sometimes devoid of parents who have, the word I'm looking for is short of parents who have a medically recognized diagnosis. And I don't want to be one of these people on the internet who throws labels on people. But the truth is, there are parents who, if they saw professionals, will be labeled medically and their patterns and toxic habits recognized as something other than just bad behavior and toxic traits. Do you see what I'm saying? So my thing is, it takes wisdom, and wisdom comes from the experience of living, to know and experiencing things and growing into your own person. And that comes from the strife of life. Like, life is a struggle. But if you think about your own life, the struggles you have had, what have you learned from them? Okay? You've learned what, like, sometimes compromising with that annoying ex of yours. You've learned what is done for the good of the family. You haven't burnt the bridge down for selfish reasons. Because sometimes you want to torch the entire bridge because you know you're not crossing it. Okay? But it takes wisdom to look at the bridge and be like, I ain't going to come back and cross this bridge, but there's no need to burn it down. My thing is, I am not dictating how he should behave and act. I am just presenting a compelling perspective to the regular person who has grown in their own experience. And when I tell you from my own experience, when I tell you some things, like, it's not like I don't know strife, you know. And you choose peace. It takes wisdom. It takes wisdom and grace to do that. When you choose peace, when you are justified in burning the whole city down. But that's not even trying to do good. That's just you just going, you know what? I'm going to walk this one because I don't need to do anything. Your actions will pay you forward. And you know what? Ooh, I don't know if it's called the law of karma, but like most things, what you sow, you will reap. The problem is that the reaping is a season, you know. The reaping is a season. And sometimes we forget that the reaping, whether good or bad, is not immediate as the planting. If someone did bad to you and you're the victim, ooh, it must hurt to see them perceptively living their life. But if that's how they behave, those actions will count towards the result of their life. And you know sometimes what the result will look like. They will die old and lonely in a care home somewhere with no family with them. Now that's a long time when you feel like a victim. You're like, I wouldn't even be there to savor the moment and see, you got paid. Let's make a cake. Let me just make a cake, okay? The cake is covered now. I don't have I wanted to get rid of this. Let's cover this bit. And then let's see. Let's do this last one here. Okay, we got it. Ooh. Did we? Did we? Glad? Did we? Okay. Did we? What do you think? Have we covered our cake right? I mean, from the sketchy looking cakes. The sketchy looking cakes that we have to this. What do you think? Let's see. Rate it between 1 and 10. Dawn is asking about the ham. ChatGPT. I'll tell you about that one in a minute. But let's get through this one and see. EFJ. Am I Australian? I'll let you take an educated guess. And of all the associations of a country, why Australia? Is it accent? Is it me? People, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Where are we? You know what? How does Anglia Water know I've got a leak? Because they have since been sending me emails about you've got a leak. We've covered the cake. I'm kind of excited about this Katla. What do you think? What do you think? I love it. I love what it looks like. Let's go put that in the fridge and then come back with the other one. Not bad for a buttercream cake, though. Not bad. Oh, okay. EFJ. I will say I'm neither Australian nor British. I'm not. But I live in England. Okay? Does that answer your question? I live in England. I'm going to put that in the fridge and we're going to get the other one. And then we'll get the other one and then we'll get that sorted. Here is another one. That's a 6-inch. There you go. That song is in my head. There's a song that is in the airwaves. Oh, EFJ is Australian. How is life in Australia at the moment? How is the weather? We are curious to know what the weather is like in Aussie town. Friend, EFJ. We are curious to know what your weather is like in Aussie. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's got bits in there. Okay, let's see. Okay. This buttercream is not going to be enough to cover the entire cake, so we are just going to cover what we can, and then we'll return perhaps tomorrow after we have more buttercream. Okay. That's the 6-inch. Okay. I think we're going to leave this as is. I think by the time we get these all decorated as Valentine themed cake, you'll love it. Okay? You will. I promise you, you will. What I'm going to do is order some Valentine themed decorations for them. There you go. So we have 2. I think we'll leave the 3rd one because we don't have enough buttercream to kind of cover the 3rd one. So we will probably do the 3rd one on our next live. But all of you in the chat, God, did I hit a jackpot about the timing today? It's great to have you all because we are only, it's 1:39 UK time. If you're joining me, you're joining me from my UK-based home kitchen. Just my ear. You're joining me from my UK-based home kitchen, and it's great to have you. If it's your first time you're joining us here, hello there. I love cake. And if you have a peek on the channel, you will know how much we love cake, okay? We are actually on our way to 10K followers. Like 10,000 of you. That's a lot of people in a stadium space. But the convenience of being over a screen is different too if 10,000 people showed up at a stadium. Will you? If we were having a stadium show, what will it be? We're not singing, we're not twerking, and we're definitely not complaining. What will we be doing? We'll be caking. There will be so much cake, and all I'll be doing is decorating cakes, talking you through cakes, and probably telling you about how cakes have got me through some shit in my life. Okay, so thank you for being here. Seasons is back. Seasons, Steph, great to have you. Every time you show up in the chat, I want to talk to you, and then I just go off on my own tangent and I forget about you. But I see all the various, like, you pop up on my For You page, as in, you know, YouTube kind of curates what you view, and because I see your channel a lot, it keeps repeating stuff, and you're doing amazing things over there. People, go see what Steph is doing. If you are into homely stuff, like a southern person doing homely stuff, go see her. Fitness and all that stuff. Sis, you're doing great. Onwards and upwards. 2026, get monetized. It's a lot of work, but you keep going, okay? Always great to have your support here. That said, we've covered 2 of the cakes. Like, I am still bowled over by how random the cakes looked and how imperfect they looked. And now look, we're putting them together. We are going to get them covered. And like I said, by the time we finish covering them, honey, you wouldn't think these are the cakes that looked really sketchy to start with. And then we're going to cut into them, and then we'll determine the accurate servings for them. It will be great. Okay, it will be. All right, so there you have it. That said, let us know where you're joining us from. There is Annette Walala. Annette, I'll call you Annette if that's okay. Annette, teach me. What should I teach you? Should I teach you about cakes? That's what we do here. Have you seen our lives? It's your first time, right? I suspect it's your first time, Annette. Thank you for stopping by. How are you, Annette? How is your day, and where are you joining us from? Dawn, the channel is what the channel name is the Seasons Seasonings to Seasons. That's the channel name. So if you click on the icon, it will give you a choice to check the profile or go to the channel, and it should take you to Steph's channel. So Steph is her name, but the channel name is Seasonings to Seasons. There you have it. Well, for those of you who are here for the first time, I was just making sure that this is not warm. There is more here. Okay, now we're finished with this. We're finished with all of this. Be gone. I have 1,001 things to do as a person. And I wake up and all I'm trying to do is hide from actually doing those things. But once I get the lives done, it's like, okay, we had this cake. I had plans for it, but at this point, I am so over it. Okay, it should be a roast beef. We were supposed to make it and get it all painted, hand painted, and all of that stuff. But I just felt lazy and overwhelmed, and I'm kind of over it. So I'm going to tell you, I'm just trying to think, should we make a whole video about it where I tell you what ChatGPT told me? Anyway, I'm going to tell you what ChatGPT said about it when I went and asked. Because if you haven't been here before, we made a chicken cake and we went and asked ChatGPT what it thought. And it told us exactly what it thought about the chicken cake. And if you don't know about that video, it's already up. Go check it. But I'm just going to tell you what ChatGPT said about my roast beef cake. I was so mad. I was like, ChatGPT, you are so mean. Like, why are you being mean to me? Okay. Right. So I went and I asked ChatGPT, ChatGPT, you can put a photo into ChatGPT and ask questions. So I said, do you think this is roast beef? And here's what I'm reading, exactly what ChatGPT said. At a glance, it really does look like roast beef. The browning, the juices, the pink interior are very convincing, which is great. But looking more closely, so you see, it looks convincing at a glance, but if you peep, it doesn't appear to be actual roast beef. A few clues suggest it's a hyper realistic cake. So I don't think ChatGPT is bad so far. What do you think? Okay, I'm gonna take what it said again. ChatGPT says, at a glance, it looks like a roast beef. The browning, the juices, the pink interior are all very convincing. But looking closely, it doesn't appear to be actual roast beef. A few clues suggest it's a hyper-realistic cake. All right? Let's see if ChatGPT was kinder. Of course. Okay, right. So let's see what ChatGPT says. He says, the interior layers have a smooth, uniform texture, which is the interior layers, okay? More like cake filling than muscle fibers. The pink areas resembled colored ganache or buttercream rather than actual meat grain, the pink areas. It's sitting on a cake board. At the time, it was on a cake board, not a serving plate. The cut surface looked sculpted rather than fibrous. So visually, it passes as roast beef, but practically speaking, it looks like an illusion cake designed to look like roast beef. And very well executed as that. I think I was kind of caught up on the critique, the constructive feedback of ChatGPT. I thought ChatGPT was being mean to me, but now that I've read it, what do you think? ChatGPT is being kind. What do you think? We've read it, we've heard it. What do you think? I think ChatGPT is honest. Okay, we're going to pretend that we did the back. The back is not done. I don't know if putting carrots on it will make a difference. Or can I, let's see. Should I do anything to it? Actually, I would, just because I'm crazy. Just because I'm the crazy cake lady. You prefer the chicken review? I do too. The fact that it managed to catch me out on this one is really annoying. But I don't think its assessment was bad at all. Like, I prefer the roast. I prefer the chicken. Okay. But you know, because I'm a crazy cake lady, I'm going to do something crazy. So let's go and do crazy stuff, okay? Okay. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why? Can someone explain to me why I'm doing this? Okay, because I am going to actually, I am just adding, it's maple syrup, and it's just to give it sheen. It should be mixed with alcohol. Oh, okay, 1 second. I have rejuvenated fluid instead of alcohol, so let's see. Okay, yeah, it's thinned out a bit. Yeah, the rejuvenated spirit is done better. So what I am going to do is, I just wanted to do that for a minute and then take a photo again and go and ask ChatGPT what it thinks again and see if I can convince him to tell me something else. Okay, let's see. Oh, Tabitha, you missed the chicken review. It's in the other video, the day we cut the chicken, the roast chicken. I will tell you what ChatGPT said about the chicken. Don't worry. It was very positive. It's like I was married to ChatGPT for a minute, and ChatGPT was just kind. But this time ChatGPT gave me the teacher like review. It was like, girl, you need to do better. And the thing with ChatGPT, yep, I'm going to add carrots to it. Now it looks shiny. Like the sheen and the gloss of it. It's like, now let's add carrots to it. We are cheating. Now, people, defend my honor. You should defend my honor here. We have, okay, let's get to the carrot bit. I've got a carrot here. Girl, you know I can make a carrot cake, but I'm like, no, not today. Okay, we are just going to chop up a carrot and add it to the roast so that you think that we're let's see. This is cheating in real time, but you know, we will make it work. Okay. Yeah, we have carrots. Cheating in broad daylight, but we move. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's carrot. Whoever ordered this beef clearly doesn't like anything other than carrots, okay? And then we are adding the potato. The raw potato. Okay. I think what I wanted was potato chips. When I, mind you, when I put the photo in ChatGPT, we didn't have the potato. It was just the raw chicken. It was just the chicken without the garnish. So remember that. So ChatGPT still had like a positive review. But this, okay, let's see. Now let me wipe my worktop and I'm going to take a photo again. And then we'll send it off and see what ChatGPT says this time. Okay. We are just about to find out whether ChatGPT is the real thing or it's a sham. Or it can be convinced. Oh, so let's find out. Let's clean the camera first. Let's find out. Okay. All right. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what it says. Let's go find ChatGPT. People. People. We did it. We did it. Okay? Let's get to it. We did it, people. We did it. You saw here live what ChatGPT said. I'm going to take you back to ChatGPT. Here is the photo I took, just so you don't miss it. Let's see. Here is the photo I took, you know. And oh. Whew. Okay. The photo I took, I said, is that roast beef? Okay. And here's what ChatGPT says. It looks like beef. Yes. We did it. We tricked ChatGPT. We tricked it. Right. So let's get into it. ChatGPT says it looks like beef. Yes. Most likely a roast beef cut or a thick beef steak that's been seared and roasted and served with carrots and potatoes. You're lying. That said, from the image alone, I can't be 100% certain of the exact cut. The texture, color, and juices are consistent with beef, especially a ribeye or sirloin or a small joint roast. But similar preparations can sometimes be done with lamb or pork. If you're checking for dietary or cooking reasons, tell me what you're expecting it to be, and I can help narrow it down further. I feel like my life is done now. ChatGPT thinks we have. Okay. You can't tell me nothing at this point. Okay? You cannot tell me anything. Because ChatGPT thinks it's roast beef. Whew. Okay. The trick is all complete now. I think now we can cut the cake. But I'm going to need to go and photograph it properly. But yeah, this is okay. We do that, and we also do this. Okay, both will exist, and that's okay. Tabitha says, I'm not anywhere close to. Okay, Tabitha and Dawn. Here's me saying, after this live, you need to sit down and identify why we are here. If it's just for the value of entertainment, that's okay. But after making all these cakes, if you really desire to improve, now you have the blueprint, as in you've seen me make it. So go try it. But if that's not the goal, if the goal is just to improve your novelty and regular cake skills, that's different. But Tabitha, you cannot tell me your skills are not. Yes, in truth, your skills are not advanced. But how do you advance? By practicing. Practicing makes progress, not perfect. So Tabitha, first of all, the blueprint is there. Secondly, there's also the opportunity to come and ask me questions. That is the access point to kind of go and do the thing. So get up. That's all. But ChatGPT, I wanted to trick ChatGPT. Can you see how excited I am? Yeah. So, yep, we have the roast beef. Yeah, okay. That's fair, Tabitha. You know what? Artistry comes and goes. It comes in seasons, and some seasons you just feel like, you know what, I'm done now. So it's neither here nor there. As long as you still like, you don't hate it. Because you know what? Do you think I like it all the time? No. Some days, especially after those 7 cakes, I didn't want to see a cake again. But next week, I have a huge cake to make. It's an open book cake. And thinking about it even makes my head hurt. But I've got to come and do it, you know? So take it easy on yourself. But I think what I was trying to say is that there's always the opportunity for you if you choose it, like to improve and oh, last year you made 2 cakes for 2 people and you had to throw it away. Tabitha, I'm so sorry. Do you mind telling us the context of that? Because did you give them the cake and they said no and you threw it away, or what was the scenario? Let's dig into it if you don't mind sharing. Because that's disheartening. That's disheartening when you make cakes for people and you do it with all the excitement and the love in your heart, and you expect, it's not, I don't suppose it's the appreciation you're looking for. It's like just the love to give a present to somebody, and that doesn't happen. That can be shattering. I have a few experiences like that when I started making cakes. When I started making cakes, I was so excited to give every and anybody a piece of cake. And I mean every and anybody a piece of cake. And I remember these cupcakes that I made for this person. And they said to me, I needed to bring the cake to them. These were cupcakes. At the time, I didn't drive and I didn't know how to get the cake to them. And so when I told them I would make the cupcakes, but can you arrange for them to be collected? When I finished the cupcakes, I called them. Are you getting someone to come and get them? They said, yeah. And then they never picked my call after. That was disheartening. Ah, that's annoying. Yeah, I am so sorry about that. When you make a cake for loved ones and they just eat enough and the rest, yeah, that's disheartening. I can see where your discouragement comes from. Hopefully you don't give it up, but I can understand, like, the effort that goes into making a piece of cake, especially for a gift, and then to watch it just go to waste is really disheartening. So Tabitha, I am so sorry that happened to you. I hope you know though that it wasn't intentional that they just left the cake. I don't know, but I don't think they just left it. Are they cake people? And sometimes, don't forget, we cake makers, we get excited, but we forget that the thing is big. Even this, if someone gave me a cake like this, as small as it is, this is a serving of 12 portions. 12 portions. Now, will I be able to eat 12 portions of cake before it goes off? I don't know. So I hope you know that hopefully it's not intentional that they wanted the cake to go off. But I can see where they are cake people. What a shame that was. I can appreciate your disappointment with it. But you see, don't stay down too long about it. If you love cakes, reframe your focus. But for now, hopefully you don't get too disheartened. But I get where you're coming from, Ade. But that said, yeah, ChatGPT has paid me a compliment. I feel so special. I feel so special. The birthdays are next month, yeah, and you'll be making 2 cakes again. You're making a box mix. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, girl. I mean, as long the intention is what matters. The intention is what matters. So, yeah, that's. A lemon and chocolate cake. Can you find that in a box mix? Go for it if you can. If a small polite reminder, if you're still in the chat, here's the reminder to say, if you haven't already liked the video, maybe you should do that now before we sign off. We've been here since is it 12:30 or something like that? Yeah, you know what? Like Dawn and Tabitha, I make cakes. You will see me taste them here. But I don't eat so much cake as you think I should. So I can also understand how people make cakes and don't like cakes that much. Okay, you found a lemon box mix and you just need to make some frosting. Yeah, some lemon flavored frosting will be great. Some lemon Swiss buttercream or lemon German buttercream. That would be good. Or lemon, oh, lemon curd. Don't you make the cake for the people and then you go for crackers and cheese. Well, you don't have to make yourself crackers and cheese, do you? You just have to go buy some nice crackers and a nice... Is it soft cheese? Are we talking soft cheese or hard cheese? Because, oh, crackers dipped in... You have heard me kind of come for Philadelphia. But a little bit of lemon, like fresh lemon juice in Philadelphia, kind of brings the tang and the bite to it. So a little bit of that and paprika in there and some dill, and then your crackers and you scoop. Okay, people. Any strong cheese, okay? I'll consider lemon curd, but after last year, I'm not putting in the effort from scratch. Look, you can go buy lemon curd, okay? That's fine. We're not judging that bitter. Just, I think it's the intention of the heart that matters. So having a cake that you can cut that is made specifically for the event is very much appreciated. So yeah, you go do that. But my people, we managed to trick ChatGPT. We got the feedback we needed. Yeah, you can buy it. You can buy it. It's not the same, I should say. But you go buy the thing. It doesn't matter. We're not judging. Okay? But I did trick ChatGPT. And now I'm going to carry my banner and run around and let the world know that ChatGPT thinks. ChatGPT really thinks that this is roast beef and it can be sirloin or whatever. Happy baking, people. Happy baking. I will see you on the next one. We're back tomorrow, okay? Have a good one. Look after yourselves and all the best. I'll see you soon.